How are you?
This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet world, West Alabama. How we doing today on a Tuesday? It's the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. We're hanging out with you in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios, just off McFarland Boulevard. You're hanging out with us on the Bama Central YouTube channel, on the Bama Central Facebook page, on my own social media machines at Joe Gaither 6. You're listening to us on podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, Red Circle, BUBBL. Anywhere you get your podcasts, you can find the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. We appreciate everybody who has subscribed, rated, reviewed the program on their favorite platforms so much. Our numbers are going up. So really appreciate everybody who is checking us out, sending the show to their friends. I want to start by saying thank you to everybody who sent me birthday greetings yesterday. Lots and lots of you did, and really you made my day so special. If you missed yesterday, we had our friend Jay come in and crash the show talking about the Vanderbilt game and wish me happy birthday, bringing a cake. So big thanks to Jay again for doing that. Mason, you sent me a very nice note who caught me in my field, so I really appreciate that as well. Follow Mason Woods at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. He joins us on Tuesday and the rest of the week. We're going to be hanging out with him, and we're going to be hanging out with our friend Michael Brauner from WNSP down there in Mobile here in about 20-25 minutes or so. He's getting off the morning show and joining us, so we're extending his work shift by just a little bit, 6 to 9 down on 105.5 WNSP in Mobile. We're going to be joined by him in just a little bit. We're going to talk about Alabama, Missouri. We're going to get Mason's thoughts on the Vanderbilt matchup. We're going to get thoughts on Jaden Roberts, the offensive line. We got some answers yesterday about that. We're going to talk about where Alabama is in its season. We're going to talk a lot of things for you guys today on a Tuesday, so you can jump in and join us, as we said, at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine, at Joe Gaither 6. You can find us on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340. Here in just a minute, Mason, I'll let you start talking. I know I need to catch up and load a voicemail from our friend Dax, who went to the game.
Dax was very happy.
Yeah, went to the game, said he sat next to some Vanderbilt fans, and said that they were annoying, per se. And I will agree with that. They were look, the Vanderbilt faithful were real SEC fans on Saturday. They were rah-rahing when they should have been, and they were trying to cheer their teams back into it when they should have been. So we'll get Dax's voicemail as well this morning. So with all that, good morning, Mason Woods. Oh, man, huge recruiting. So weekend. I know that you probably have like 12 articles on your tabs to like keep up with what all you wrote this past weekend. But Alabama having a big, successful weekend from basically Thursday to Friday afternoon.
From basically the last day of September through now.
So big time Courtney Morgan getting some business done. Good morning, Mason. How we doing? And are your fingers smoking?
Yeah, I'm doing good this morning. Doing good. Like you said, big time recruiting week for Alabama the last 7 or 8 days or so. Like I said, the first day or the last day of September there, you land a 2027 commit 4-star offensive lineman, Jatori Williams. And then you follow that up about 48 hours later with another 2027 commit, cornerback Nash Johnson III.
Nash.
And then once again, you follow that up with a 2026 commitment from 3-star offensive tackle Jared Dowdy. And this is a guy who has been an extremely fast riser in this class. He decommitted from Georgia State in June, and then he picked up offers from like Missouri, Auburn, Georgia Tech, all within like 2 or 3 weeks of each other, basically at the start of this season. Picked up an Alabama offer, I think, second week of September, and now he is the 23rd commitment of the class. So looking pretty good on the recruiting trail for Alabama. And then also on top of that, you have 3 of probably your biggest, highest profile commits in the class, maybe Jet Tamala, Sadarian Morgan, and EJ Crowell. All of them shut down their commitment or recruitment officially this weekend. So, big things happening in Tuscaloosa. I think Alabama is sitting at the number 3 class in the country right now, but seeming like they may be trying to add some more talent here with just a couple months until the early signing period. So they may be working their way back up to number 1. Who knows?
How you feel? How you feel about I'm shutting my recruitment down?
To be quite honest, I could not care less. But to each their own, I guess. In my opinion, I don't really think any of that matters until you actually sign that piece of paper on December 3rd this year. I believe is when the early signing period opens. I think it's the 3rd through the 5th. Nothing matters until that day. Anything, and honestly, we've kind of seen now that even things don't really matter after that day in some situations. Kids can just kind of get out of those. But no, I'm not gonna put a ton of stock in any of those things. I'm sure if some schools really wanted to come in, swoop in the last minute and make some, big offers from these kids, they're absolutely going to do it. And I'm sure they will for some of them, and they'll probably have to consider those things and so on and so forth. Now, I do think, luckily, in Alabama's case, 2 of these 3 guys are in-state commits. I think I think they've kind of grown up Alabama fans most of their lives, as far as I know, from what I've seen from EJ Carell and Sedarian Morgan. I know some people had talked about Sedarian picking Auburn for a while, but I don't really think that was ever that serious. And then I think with Jet, obviously a bit of a later addition to the class, the Iowa State commit, but seemingly at least he's been pretty locked in with the Crimson Tide, and I think they are pretty happy with what they've seen from him. I don't have the exact stats, of course. My computer is bugging on me now.
It's all good.
But he's through like 6 games this year. It's like 1,200 yards, 13 or 15 touchdowns or something
in like 6 quarters too.
Yes,
he's playing like a quarter and change in a game.
It's crazy. He is absolutely dominating up there in Nebraska. It is very, very special to watch.
And did I see Taden Kawa did the same? Shut down his commitment. I think he did. Shut down his recruitment. But my real point in asking is, weren't you committed?
Yeah, I don't know what this means. I don't know.
Weren't you committed? Hey, I'm gonna date my girlfriend. I'm gonna make her my girlfriend. But we're gonna go about 6 months down, and then I'm gonna say I'm committing to you as my girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't know. I guess maybe I can understand it. Excuse me. If you were maybe a lower level, like a 3-star prospect, I guess I almost get it, because then it's like, all right, you tell other schools, don't devote resources to trying to recruit me. But like, if you're Sedarian Morgan, this is not going to stop Auburn. This is not going to stop LSU, USC, Colorado, whoever it is. This is not going to stop any of those schools from trying to recruit you for the next 6 weeks.
Nuts. I thought you were committed, guys. I thought y'all said we're locked in with the Tide whenever you had your little party with your friends.
You get a nice little graphic with you where you look cool.
That's right. That's all it is. I want to be back in the news.
Yeah. Good on them, I guess.
I want to be back in the news. I want my name to be. And then what happens is, I see my man Mason Woods shut down his recruitment, and I'm like, damn, Mason got himself a nice graphic. I need to shut down my recruitment too. So, just a funny aspect. Recruiting has become such a just layered phenomenon, and so this is just one of those layers.
It really is. It just gets a bit stranger every year. Seemingly, there's more and more things that kids are making announcements for. Like, I don't recall a ton of kids, even in the last 2-3 years leading up to now, doing the whole like, I'm officially shutting it down. There was a handful last year that I can recall, but even then, it's much more prevalent this season, and I'm assuming it will continue to be more and more prevalent.
What have you seen about this Jared Dowdy guy? You said a fast riser.
Yeah.
Is out of the Atlanta area. I'm pulling up his huddle right now. What do we know about this Jared Dowdy?
I know that I believe it was, I would say probably less than 2-3 weeks ago, Georgia was supposedly the team to beat for his commitment, and Alabama works themselves into the front runner spot there and lands the commitment. I think he was in Athens for the Georgia-Alabama game. Probably not great for the Dogs there in landing Mr. Dowdy. But yeah, like I said, big time riser in this class. He was committed to Georgia State. Was in June of this year. I think.
Oh man, he's playing center in this.
I think he plays kind of all around. He from what I have heard, what I've seen,
he just took this nose tackle 10 yards, turned his shoulders, and then took him to the sideline.
Big man, 6'5", 300 pounds. Right now, I think he's the number 76 player, the number 76 tackle in the nation, the number 96 player in the state of Georgia. Has just really kind of seen his stock rise rapidly this season. Like I said, he decommits and commits to Georgia State, and then basically as soon as his senior season starts, he picks up offers from Auburn, picks up an offer from Missouri, picks up an offer from Georgia, Georgia Tech, Alabama, so on and so forth. And then he decommitted like the second week of September, and obviously now he is taking a handful of official visits and is now committed to the Crimson Tide. He was one of the guys that was in town this past weekend. He has visits, or at least had visits lined up with, I think, Georgia, Auburn, and Missouri as well. I doubt that he will be attending those now at this point. So, yeah, you're looking pretty good. You got 4 offensive line commits in the 2026 class. There's still time to add some more talent if you want to, but I think they're probably done at offensive line. They only had 4 in last year's class, probably where they're going to stick with this season. But right now, you got the number 3 class in the nation, and you're looking good to maybe keep going up.
Reread his height and weight.
6'5", 300 pounds. And
he's an animal.
He might be even larger. Who knows? Might be, you never really know with these kind of recruiting outlets, you never truly know until they get to campus.
Sure. But like he put up his huddle tape. The first clip on his huddle tape. Oh my mercy! The first clip on his huddle tape is a mid-season highlight from this year, and so far we're on 149, minute 50 of just taking folks for a ride. I am moving you. You have no say in this.
You can see why his stock has risen so rapidly.
Yes, you have no say. And yes, I haven't seen him go against a man who was okay. Sure. This guy's equal size almost. And
he's got pretty good hands too.
Playing center, playing tackle, and just. They're saying, hey, that guy go take that defender out of the play, and he's doing it. Wow, this guy has impressive. Oh my gosh, just finishing ability. Another finish, another defender on their rear end, and he's walking up at almost after like several of these plays, hands in the air, like I didn't hold him, ref. I didn't hold him, ref. I just finished the block.
Disrespected him.
Golly,
he's got a very athletic kind of that modern tackle build. He doesn't we talked a lot about it with Jackson Lloyd, where he looks almost like a tight end sometimes. You're looking at, the picture. You can look at it in the article that we wrote on our site about him. He's a bit of a slender guy, but that does not mean he does not bring the power.
That is an exciting get with those 2.5 minutes that I just watched on Huddle, and I'll encourage you to do that. We'll reach out to him, try to see if he wants to jump on the program like several of our other commits have done. We love doing that. It's a little harder in football season because they have actual high school and they have actual football practice and games and stuff. But we'll see if we can't get something working with Mr. Dowdy, because that's a man's man on the offensive line. Going to be blocking for EJ Crowell. All right, Mason, let's pivot here. We didn't see you yesterday. You were a hard-working man in local Home Depot. If you guys need some hardware assistance on Mondays, Mason
don't ask me. Ask somebody else.
Mason just bring.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll call somebody, and then no one will show up to help you, because that's all that ever happens at the Home Depot.
No,
it's a frustrating Monday.
Oh man, I'm sorry about that. What did you think about Alabama 30 to 14? Sorry, 30 to 14 over Vanderbilt.
That's a bad beat for a lot of people, probably. But man, that was
a good beat for a lot of people.
Or a good beat for a lot of people. Sure.
Alabama faithful were gambling on the tide. They're like, we got to get another score here.
That was that game. I mean, I think I said it right before we started recording when when we both sat down in here. That game went just about as perfectly as it could have. Just about everything I wanted to see from Alabama, I did in that game. You saw the running game really start to go, and it was not just fluke. It was, we are enacting the run game. We're getting 6-7 yards of carry, and we're looking good doing it. I maybe we were wrong about Jam Miller. Maybe he is that elite back that we didn't maybe give him enough credit for. He certainly looked like it on Saturday against what I believe to be still a very good Vanderbilt defense.
But yeah, he's
solid. Good Vanderbilt team.
Yes.
But no, I was just, I was blown away. Initially, the panic set in. Obviously, you go down, Ty throws his first pick of the year, which we had talked about. I think we both kind of were like, yeah, this could definitely be the moment for it this Saturday. And sure enough, it happens on the first drive of the game. Not really sure exactly what happened there. I haven't gone back and watched it again. It looks like just maybe him trying to do a little too much, maybe a little miscommunication as well mixed in with it. But yeah, you turn the ball over and then give up the quick score to Vandy. Basically, they kind of march right down the field. I think he gave up a big run to Cedric Alexander right there, and he punches it in from about 30-40 yards out, whatever it was. And you start to think, oh, good God, here we go again. Alabama gets stopped on the ensuing drive, gives it back to Vanderbilt, and then they march right down the field again, get into the red zone. And, Justin Jefferson saved us all. I think turned the tide of that game with that fumble. Alabama gets the ball back and never really looked back from that point. I think that was really the wake-up call they needed. What did you finish the game scoring? You finished the game 30-7 scoring basically from that point forward. So defense locked in, offense locked in. Would have liked to have seen the offense maybe be even a bit more explosive than they were, but I'm perfectly fine with the result that we got. That last touchdown was really, just chef's kiss. That was exactly what I needed to see, was that foot on the throat, stomp them out. I think it was a message.
It's certainly. I mean, that the last play, it's 4th and 2. There's 35 seconds left, and you can either just kick a field goal and say, "Good job, guys. We'll take our cover," and it's a 12-point game, or we're going to call a real play. I mean, honestly, DeBoer's trying to run the rest of the clock out right there, but it was blocked so well, and Jam, like, you're gonna score if it's wide open. Please, just like
I mean, if you think the guys on the field weren't trying to score, there was a lot of emotion in this game, I think.
Right, and so Jam breaks free. I'm with you. I think that we might have undersold Jam's impact because his vision. When I went through yesterday for my little film project, and I did my film project on explosive runs, Alabama had 10 runs of 6 yards or more with an 11th quarterback scramble. So 10 called runs with an 11th scramble.
That's good.
Jam's vision was on full display to me. And he broke not a whole lot of tackles, but enough tackles to, you ran right through. You took that defender 4 more yards once he got to you, or 2 or 3 more yards once he got to you. So I was really impressed with the running game. You had a handful of different run concepts that I noticed in those explosive runs. You ran inside zone 4 different times for 10 yards or more. Man, I'll tell you what I want to see, though. Jam had a 22-yarder early in the game off power. Oh my gosh! And we're not running a lot of power. Backside guard pulls through, or tackle pulls through, and then you have a lead blocker as well. This time was Josh Cuevas. But your tackle / backside offensive lineman kicks out. Cuevas leads through.
I feel pretty good about either of those guards. I mean, honestly, either or guards or any of them getting any of those guys out into a little bit of space.
So you ran power basically just once for 22 yards, and I'm like, hey guys, we need to hit that red button again a few more times, and I think they probably will once they go back and really review the tape. That concept worked. Now Vanderbilt played with a little bit of a lighter box, and you can thank Ty Simpson and those wide receivers for that.
Bingo.
So I was impressed with it. You power inside zone 4 times, power for 1. You had duo for 3 or 4 of them, and pin and pull for 3 or 4 of them as well. So offensive line starting to find a little bit of cohesion in the run game, and Jam definitely helping them do that with his explosiveness and vision.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. We continue to see them rotate around a bit. I think it was less rotation this Saturday than we had seen against Georgia, but rotation nonetheless. But they're gelling. They are looking better and better each week. So I continue to be impressed by this offense. They have looked better and better each week we've seen them. You mentioned Vanderbilt, playing a little bit of a lighter box there against Jam Miller, maybe giving him the opportunities. I mean, there wasn't much they could do because, like you said, Ty Simpson was completely carving them up. Anytime they tried to load the box, it was, all right, well, I'll just get out of this pressure and find Jeremy Bernard downfield for a touchdown, or, whatever it was. There was just nothing Vanderbilt could really do against Alabama's offense. And I think, yes, that may be something to say about the Commodores defense just a little bit, but I really think it has to do with Alabama's offense starting to click and starting to unlock a bit and really starting to feel the flow of the game. Ty Simpson is not the only one really starting to feel it. Everyone around him is starting to feel it. And I think by the end of the season, this offense is going to be humming.
So I put up these explosive runs, and what do you notice about the Crimson Tide's running game? And I just got a new reply, and this kind of will take us into a nice pivot. I just got a new reply from Evan Scott Tigers, which I believe is a troll account. But now that I click on it, it is 54 following, 163 followers. It says sports journalist, Mizzou grad, husband, father of 2. Okay, everything is fake, right? His comment: I noticed that it ain't going to work against Mizzou, so they better pass.
All right. Well, they'll do that. I mean, that's the thing about this Bama offense that I think is okay. Even if we've seen what they can do even when they can't run the ball super effectively.
Missouri, number 1 in the nation in rushing defense.
They ain't played nobody, Paul.
Ain't played nobody, Paul.
I mean, they do have the easiest schedule in the country right now, right? I'm not making that up. I believe that's the stat I saw this weekend.
Oh, I don't know about that. I do know that. Okay, let's see if I can let's find that strength of schedule, college football, strength of schedule.
I believe I saw that on my Twitter feed this weekend. I could be, maybe
And my man Wendell
slightly
Hare
wrong.
messaged me about that yesterday. I haven't quite got back to him yet. He says, "Is Missouri good, or are they good because of the lack of non-ranked opponents they've played so far?" I guess South Carolina fell out of the rankings by the time that they played them 2 days ago. SP rankings for all 136 FBS teams. Thank you. Let's see this. S&P rankings 130. Let's go down. No, Missouri is all the way down. Dadgummit, Xfinity logging me back into ESPN. Missouri, it was UMass at the bottom.
Okay.
Let's let this load back through. You've played at least Kansas, and you've played South Carolina. Now, it was South Carolina without Lenoris. Is that right?
I believe.
Okay, UMass. Where are you, Mizzou? How about we just do Control F in Missouri? No, they're note early on. Their ranking is 8th, but that's not. I don't think that's right. I don't think that. Okay, yeah, here we go. That's strength of. That's Missouri State. I guess I'm not on the right website. That's okay. College Phil Steele strength of schedule. That's in August. Let's see, Missouri. Ain't played nobody, Paul.
They ain't played nobody.
Well,
That's what's important here.
that's all right.
I don't really consider. I don't know that I really consider Kansas.
TeamRankings.com has them at
They did play
52.
Lenoris.
TeamRankings.com has them at 52 strength of schedule.
They did play Lenoris.
Okay. Well, great. That's basically my mission today is to start watching Missouri. I've got all their numbers pulled up right here, but I, yesterday being the birthday and big day, honestly, oh my gosh, Mason, I saw 15 minutes of basketball practice.
That was
huge,
nice.
Huge day in the media room yesterday. Keep going. Go ahead.
I am seeing here supposedly some ESPN metric has strength of schedule so far. Alabama 3, Missouri 109 on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That feels about right. When you look at their schedule here, it is Central Arkansas. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like high school team. Louisiana, Raging Cajuns. Okay. Not a horrible lower level team, but whatever. And then UMass. Like you give me UMass and Central Arkansas. UMass is probably like the worst team in FBS. And so
Minutemen.
Yeah, they're going to last 1 minute on the field. I like Kansas, and maybe I'm a little biased because of my time playing college football 26. By the way, my dynasty, I've moved on from Kansas. I'm now coaching the Texas Longhorns. Let's go.
Couldn't have picked a worse school to be at.
Well, I've been struggling with recruiting.
Bad administration.
Well, I don't have to deal with them. I've been struggling with recruiting, and I figure, the game metrics, it's going to end up funneling me 5 stars with all the money, all the NIL money Texas has got. And apparently, I'll try to be a better coach than Steve Sarkisian, not taking our boys to Florida and flopping.
Golly.
You're going to pay all that money.
I need to take my Texas. Do I get to take a Texas victory lap yet? Do I need to wait on it?
No, I don't care.
I mean, I might need to wait on it. They might come back, but right now, boy, oh boy, that team sucks.
The offensive line play is horrific.
Yeah, that team's bad.
It's a bottom 4 offensive line.
I knew this was coming.
SEC.
I knew Texas was going to be bad, but you were sold a bill of goods on Texas that does not seem to be legitimate.
Yeah, they paid all that money for those offensive linemen, and they all stink.
They suck.
Oh, fat, slow.
Yeah, slow is an understatement. Arch Manning has not been great, but he has had
running for his dadgum life.
Literally not even a pocket to operate out of on most of these dropbacks. It is as soon as the ball is in his hands, there's a guy in his face. Not a whole lot you can do in that situation. That being said, he still hasn't been great, though. Even in the opportunities he has to make plays, he doesn't make plays. He missed, a handful of throws in that Florida game that I'm sure he'd love to have back. A bad performance from Texas.
How did Kansas only have 19 yards rushing against this team? 31 yards rushing on 19 attempts against Missouri. And they were in the game. Kansas nearly, they were in that game in the fourth quarter. 223 yards passing, only 1 turnover. Golly, how in the world did they hang in that game that long? 18 of 30 passing. Okay, so here we go. South Carolina rushed for -9 yards against Missouri on 22 attempts.
Is this a college football sack yardage thing?
Well, let's find out.
Rushing
Box score. Let's see what Lenoris did. Matt Fuller, 2 carries, 7 yards. Oscar Attaway, 3 carries, 7 yards. Rashul Faison, 6 carries, 5 yards.
Okay, well, you're only going to run the ball for that much when you run it 8 times a game.
Brian Rowe, 1 carry, 0 yards. Lenoris, 10 carries, negative 28 yards. And so this is sack yardage. How many sacks did they end up having?
Was that about 2?
5.
Oh, God.
5 sacks. So Lenoris carried it 5 times, and then the other 5 awful. Are you just running backwards, Lenoris?
Yikes.
Not good. So I'm looking forward to seeing that game. Let's see Kansas, because Kansas is box score. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, we're dancing around it again. Once more, Alabama's biggest threat in this matchup is a mobile quarterback and a really good running back.
Bo Pribula.
I like him. He's a good quarterback.
Bo Pribula, 9
I think
carries.
Penn State's pretty upset they let him get away.
Yeah, 9 carries, 72 yards against South Carolina. Not good. Amon Hardy looks like a monster. Looks like somebody that this entire defense is going to have to be checked. Justin Jefferson, you had a good game this past week.
You better follow it up, buddy.
Oh, boy. Bring your feet.
Yeah.
Bring your feet. Bring your pads, because Amon Hardy is an angry runner.
Yes,
he's going to be on the what's his name? Kyle Brandt.
Yeah, I think so.
Angry runs. ASAP. Oh, it's 9:06. I bet you. Yeah, I didn't even look at this. Michael's probably been sitting here for like the last 5 minutes. Let's do this. We'll read a Derek Daniel ad, and we'll bring Michael Brauner into the program as we've been talking about Missouri, as we just did a little Vanderbilt recap, and we did some recruiting with Mason Woods. We want to remind you that we are brought to you by Derek Daniel State Farm Insurance. We're live here in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. Call him for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Call and see how much he can save you today. You can call him for your home insurance, your life insurance, your auto insurance. He'll take care of you. Local coverage that you can count on. 205-758-3391. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. And we are joined by Michael Brauner. How long have you been sitting there, Michael? Follow him at M Brauner WNSP. You can hear him from 6 to 9 on the Sound of Mobile app. If you're not in Mobile, download the Sound of Mobile app today, and you can check him out from 6 to 9. Good morning, Michael. How we doing?
Good morning. Yeah, it's been about 5 minutes, but it's I've been enjoying the banter, so it's all good.
Yeah, man. How was the show this morning?
It was good. We once we got one day out of this Alabama Vanderbilt game, and still a little bit far away from Alabama, Missouri, and Georgia Auburn. Spent some time this morning talking about this Feinbaum story, which I'm sure none of us want to get into on this show. But
what I can't figure out, Michael, is if he's actually off the ESPN airwaves or if that was fake news or not, because I've seen it 2 different ways.
Well, he's allegedly, I guess, supposed to be on First Take this morning, but those who would say, those who are the Clay Travises of the world would tell you that ESPN is going back and covering their tracks, because it seems like he's supposed to be on every ESPN show today. So that theory at least makes sense. I don't really care. Who really cares?
No, right.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's less Paul Feinbaum for all of us, so I think that's a positive.
I mean, what does he do? Billy, you're next. Paul, thanks for your call. Charlie, you're next. Paul, thanks for your call. Sally, you're next. Paul. Like, it's the Facebook of radio. It's the Facebook comments of radio. And I'm sorry, I know that he's super well respected, but as a part-time consumer, I cannot stand that medium. I cannot stand that style.
And clearly he's been doing something right. It's been 3 decades of his face being prominently on display. So, no, but it's going to be another big week for Alabama and Auburn as well. Obviously, this isn't an Auburn program. I don't know if we'll have time to get into Hugh Freeze today. That could be a whole 30-minute segment in itself. But it's good to talk to you guys. I've never been on this program with Mason on as well.
Right, it's back in the old days. Not now with a trio here.
Yeah, it's a reunion.
Absolutely, Michael. What do you think of the Alabama performance on Saturday?
I thought it was, in a word, pretty impressive. Really, just the resilience, because at 7-0 and 14-7, you're thinking very much a here we go again. type of deal. It felt very similar to the start of the Vanderbilt game last year, and I think the ability to consistently move the ball through the air on offense makes a huge difference there. And you getting a touchdown at the end of the half, and after they picked up the flag on the targeting on Ryan Williams, I think all of us are probably, oh my god, I mean, they're not going to put up points here. And then bing bang boom, three plays later they're in the end zone. So I was impressed. I admittedly probably did not give Vanderbilt the fair level of respect they deserve. Granted, it was more respect than I had going into the game last year for Vanderbilt, I think, like everyone else. But I probably didn't give them their fair shake going into this one. I thought this was going to be an Alabama domination. I thought Vanderbilt would move the ball fairly effectively. I just thought Alabama was going to kind of come out ripping the way they did in the first half against Georgia. Because we talked about it when you were on with us, Joe, how gettable that secondary especially is. But instead, at least early, they're running the ball with a good bit of success. And I hated the call on 4th and 1 on the first drive to throw it deep down the field. And what are the chances that you don't get a yard if you just kind of run it up the gut there or just give it to Caden Proctor? I guess Grubb was saving that for later in the game. But even if you kind of blow that secret right away, what are they going to stop Caden Proctor on third and 1 later in the game? I doubt it. So I would have liked to have seen a run up the middle, and if you score on that drive, I think maybe the game goes a little bit differently than it winded up going. And also Talty misses the kick later on as well. So there were opportunities for it to be not as close. There were also opportunities for it to be much closer, because it wasn't like Vanderbilt didn't move the ball up and down the field. The 2 timely turnovers, which you never apologize for getting clutch turnovers, but things could have been very different if Pavia was a little bit better in the red zone.
So, Michael, this team going to the national championship. It's in Atlanta this year, right? 2025. Is that what I'm seeing?
Oh, is it? Yeah, I hadn't looked. I feel like he was just in Atlanta.
No, that might have been this past game. 2026. How about that? It's in Miami. It's in Miami. Monday, January 19th in Hard Rock Stadium.
It's a historically pretty successful site for the Crimson Tide, but you got to obviously get there first. So, well, I guess it's not that successful. Wasn't the Clemson 2018 game there too, if I'm not mistaken?
I know
they won one title there. I can't remember. The Ohio State one was definitely there.
They wrecked Notre Dame there too in 2012.
Yeah, so it's accurate then. Successful venue. I don't know. I certainly believe it a heck of a lot more today than I did 3 weeks ago. I still think, God, man, we talked about it at Media Days, Joe, the schedule, and granted, I might have discounted Mizzou at the time, but the schedule just really does not let up. I think if you drop 2, you still, playoff obviously put out that little statement before the season about considering strength of schedule. I think you got a chance still to make it at 9-3, but it's gonna be tough to only drop 1 the rest of the season and get into the thing. I mean, we've talked about a lot over the last couple of years, the depth of the SEC. I don't think anyone in the SEC is better than Oregon or Ohio State, at least not right now. But there's like 10 teams that you can make a serious playoff case for in the SEC. So you got to handle your business. It starts this week against Missouri, but it doesn't get any easier after that.
So you mentioned that. I mean, of these, like you said, probably 7 or 8, maybe even 10 teams that all kind of have a chance to be maybe the top dog in the SEC this year. Alabama is certainly one of them. I think has maybe solidified themselves as kind of the top dog right now with maybe the 2 biggest wins of anybody in the conference. I mean, what is the team that you kind of see as the biggest challenger right now? Who is the team that really stands in Alabama's way of winning the SEC this year?
Are you saying on the schedule or in
potential SEC not even necessarily on the schedule, but yeah, just a potential SEC championship.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to say right now, Ole Miss in terms of a looming threat, just because of what Trinidad Chambliss has been able to do. It's the old the old Alabama stereotype of having trouble with running quarterbacks, and that's why I think there's going to be trouble this week against Pribula. But it's not really a stereotype if it's true. It's Saban for 20 years struggled against running quarterbacks. They always have a way of, and it's far beyond just Chambliss. Ole Miss is really, really good. I think even better than last year, which is hard to believe based on the hype that they were getting. And obviously it didn't work out for them. Dropped a couple that they shouldn't have dropped to Kentucky and Florida. But I'd have to say Ole Miss. I also I really, really, really like this Texas A&M team. I didn't think much of Marcel Reed going into the season, but that guy, man, he won me over with the Notre Dame game. There's no doubt about it. He's a gamer, and again, same thing, a running quarterback that is capable of giving Alabama problems. Fortunately for Alabama, neither of them are obviously on the schedule there. So in terms of sneaky, difficult games left on the schedule, obviously it starts with Missouri, but I don't think that Oklahoma. I feel better about the LSU game at home than I do about the Missouri game on the road this week. It looks like Mateer will. I assume I hadn't seen anything definitive on his hand. I assume he's going to be back for that Oklahoma game a few weeks later. Tennessee is probably capable of coming into Bryant-Denny next week and scoring some points. How about a third Saturday in October under the lights? I feel like it's been a while since we've had that. Maybe we'll see. It makes up for the fact, I guess, that Missouri is at 11, which is kind of the worst. I think we knew that before the season, though, because I think you mentioned it at Media Days, Joe, when you said, the difficult road games, 11 a.m. Missouri on the road. And it certainly has proven to be a difficult matchup at the very least.
Well, let's talk about that, because everybody's sitting here saying that all the Kalen DeBoer questions are answered. And while I do kind of I am favorable towards Kalen DeBoer and his tenure so far, you are always going to get up for Georgia. Doesn't matter if it's on the road, it's a home, it's on Mars. You are always going to get up for Georgia. And so I don't know that Kalen DeBoer got his team ready on the road, all the questions are answered. Question is actually answered, because it's Georgia. You put the name in front of Alabama fans and Alabama faithful and Alabama players, they're going to get up for it. And so you go on the road to Georgia and you perform well. You're always going to come back and try to play well against Vanderbilt because of the revenge factor from last year. Well, now you're going back on the road again. And while you look at the stats, you can see Missouri, a good team, undefeated. You can see them, they're really top 3 in total defense. They're number 1, number 2 in rushing defense, depends on what metric you want to look at. They're scoring at a higher rate, 45 some points a game. They're rushing quarterback. You can see why you should respect Missouri, but it's still the name Missouri, and it's not LSU, it's not Georgia, it's not Florida, Texas. It's not a traditional SEC power type program, and yet it does have a little number in front of their name, so maybe that will add respect. But it's still Missouri. It's still y'all are the Texas and Oklahoma got more respect as newcomers than Texas A&M and Missouri did in 2014. Missouri made it to the SEC East Championship game twice since they came, and people still don't respect them. It's Missouri. They're not really in the conference. They're not really in the footprint of the SEC. And so, you get poo-pooed. It's Missouri. It's a bad name, right? Good team, bad, not necessarily a great name. Will Kalen DeBoer go on the road? What's your confidence level of the team going on the road, playing against a perceived inferior opponent, especially talent-wise, and be able to take care of business? I mean, you saw him on the road last year. Go to Vanderbilt, lay an egg. Go to Oklahoma, lay an egg. You don't really necessarily think the Tennessee game was an egg. That's a rivalry matchup. But you should have smacked Vanderbilt and Oklahoma on the road. You went in the bowl game. You should have smacked Michigan, but they wanted to be there, and Alabama clearly didn't. Will Alabama go on the road and play well this weekend?
Yeah, it's probably and it's so ridiculous to have to say this, but it's probably the best thing for Alabama that Missouri has kind of had a little bit of a cupcake schedule to begin, because they were 3-2 and unranked. Yeah, I do think that little number shouldn't factor in. And if you ask Kalen DeBoer, he'd be the first to tell you, no, we're going to prepare for, obviously he wouldn't admit that, but I think especially in today's era of college football, and especially post Saban, I think it's really, really difficult for these coaches to, even if they can say it all week, but to not let it creep into the back of their players' mind of, we got this. That's what happened at Vanderbilt last year. There's no question about it. And like I said, I don't know if it necessarily. Tennessee was kind of that was a terrible game offensively, but it was the Tennessee game. It was a rivalry game. And then, obviously they performed how they did at LSU. Same thing. Road, they got up for a road game because they're playing against LSU, and everything seemed to go right on offense that night. But I think that the scares of last year have rooted out the complacency. I think it's hard. I thought that going into the Florida State game though, and we don't really know what that Florida State team is. I'm having a hard time figuring it out after the Virginia game and getting killed by Miami. I still think they're decent, but are they better than Missouri? Maybe not. Who knows? The spread is what it is for a reason. And then of course, we already talked about the fact that it's a matchup nightmare with Pribula, who can run, and Ahmad Hardy, who's just had a ridiculous season so far, might be the best running back in the country, at least has a strong case for it. So yeah, I think they can play well, but I don't necessarily think that them playing well is makes Missouri this pushover of an opponent, just because of how tough the matchup is, how good Hardy is. Pribula can get some stuff going. We'll see, but this is not what I can. You pointed it out to me before the season, Joe. I didn't see it at the time, but I certainly see it now.
I want to kind of continue asking about Alabama's ability to defend a guy like Ahmad Hardy, a guy like Bo Pribula. They did a really good job against Vanderbilt. After that, you kind of got your lashes in on that first drive in the first quarter there. But from the second quarter on, Cedric Alexander didn't really affect the game too much. Diego Pavia from the run game did not affect the game too much. Alabama really seemed to lock in on defense. And I just want to ask you, do you think that we can see that kind of continue to build this coming week? Especially you'll have everybody there. You won't be missing somebody for the first half again. Yeah. I just, how impressed have you been with Alabama's defense to kind of lock in and address the concerns, at least, about them?
Yeah, it seems to me, I was a little bit more in the camp of, and granted, you have a second half shutout, there's never anything to complain about. I was a little bit more in the camp of, dang, Vanderbilt have really gotten away from the run, and they're trying to ask Pavia to do a lot with his arm. And, it's just not the strength, and it's not, frankly, the weakness of Alabama. How many times do we go into the season talking about how strong this secondary is? Dijon Lee, Damani Jackson has struggled, obviously, but the safety group has gotten it together, and Dijon Lee is awesome. I'd love to see him keep getting on the field more. But yeah, I'm more confident in the defense's ability, but they still got gashed a little bit. And again, you force a red zone turnover, great. I mean, you got it done. 2 red zone turnovers. I meant in the second half specifically.
But how many times do you count on that?
Exactly, challenge.
It's like, but you don't want to have. I mean, you don't want to have to rely on it was a bad Pavia decision, the interception in the second half that led to the turnover. So you don't want to have to rely on making the quarterback make a bad decision. I also, and maybe this goes out the window based on the performance at Georgia, I also do think it's easier at home if you're getting gashed to, kind of step up and be able to get yourself up for the next play versus, Missouri crowd's going to be going crazy if they rip off a 30-yard run. It's not like the crowd's not going to be behind Alabama this week. Sure. How much that really makes a difference, I don't know, but it's not nothing. It's definitely not nothing.
We're hanging out with Michael Brauner. You can follow him at mbrauner WNSP. Listen to him from 6 to 9 a.m. Central on the Sound of Mobile app. Michael, how's that morning shift going? And are y'all ready to go to New York to crown Ty Simpson, the Heisman Trophy winner?
Yeah, I was waiting to talk about Simpson specifically. Yeah, I am ready to crown him a first-round pick, maybe first over. I don't know. Sellers is so good. That team stinks, but Sellers is from an NFL tool standpoint is just incredible. So we'll see what happens.
Up Anthony Richardson.
He's what they thought Anthony Richardson was.
No, because Sellers is a good college quarterback. Anthony Richardson was never not at any point was he a good college football
player. But he made that play against Vanderbilt. Maryland.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the throws, and granted, yes, does this sound like the analysis of Anthony Richardson when I say some of the throws Lenore Sellers can make? Yes, I realize how that sounds, but I just don't think he has enough around him. it would have stunk if he had transferred just because I think we all hate that state that college football is in. But I think had he transferred to say Ole Miss, for example, I think it'd be looking incredible. LSU, I mean, whoever. I think it'd be looking incredible. That being said, on Ty specifically, yeah, man, this is what we've been waiting. I'd say at A-Day 4 years ago, the one that was in the rain on Easter, on the day before Easter Sunday. I remember I stuck around town for A-Day, and I didn't know a whole lot about Simpson at the time. Just all right, he's the 4.5 5-star recruit that is the third string right now. Then he comes into A-Day, and I've been saying since then, man, that kid's got some zip. He throws the heck out of the ball, and it's 4 years later or 3 years later, it's come full circle. That's probably my favorite part about it. He throws the ball. The more talking about how he throws a catchable ball. I don't know if I'd call it a catchable ball because it's just a bullet every time. I'm surprised there hasn't been. I'm worried a little bit that at some point down the line there's going to be a timely drop because Simpson threw the ball too hard. But he's awesome, man. He's getting more comfortable. I do think he needs to get better. When deciding to give up on a play. There were a couple of sacks in the Vandy game that you just can't take. But for the most part, against Georgia, it was, a literal masterclass of quarterbacking, especially in that first half. And even in the second half, Kirby obviously adjusted and they got shut out in the second half. But to be able to flip the field and make a couple of big throws when they needed it so badly late in that Georgia game, and the way he has total command of this offense, the way he has total command of the locker room, I couldn't be higher on Ty Simpson. I got to take, maybe it's not saying much at this point, but I do think that he's going to end up being the best of the NFL guys that are in the league right now. I think Ty Simpson's going to be the best of them at the next level.
You mentioned timely drops there, and I just got to get this out. Do we need to have a conversation about Ryan Williams at all? Is there an issue there? Is this something to worry about?
What are y'all saying on WNSP, hometown radio?
Yeah, probably the same thing y'all are saying. Once you've moved, there can't be any super homerism. Yes, do I know him and know he's a great kid and want him to be great? Of course. Other than that, yeah, you can't be dropping balls that you got to catch. Am I forgetting one against Vanderbilt? Did he have another bad drop against Vanderbilt? Obviously, there was the Georgia.
Not that I recall.
To his credit, he stepped up late in the Georgia game and makes that play that he knows on third down. I think it was on almost a wheel route that he knows he's going to take a big hit on, and again, it's a low bar because you got to make that play, especially if you're a star. But he was great against Vanderbilt. I think he'll get it together. But yes, are the drops a concern? I trust going to Jeremy Bernard a heck of a lot more than I trust going to Ryan Williams. If it's a high ball, you got to climb the ladder. I trust Isaiah Horton more to go make that play right now. And frankly, Latsier Brooks has been phenomenal. So it's probably good for Ryan. Hey, I got other guys they can get the ball. I think it's not that they don't need him because they do need him to make plays, but it is good that it's not the offense doesn't feel like all the eggs are in the Ryan Williams basket with how good Jeremy has been. Horton starting to emerge. Are the drops concerning? To answer your direct question, yeah, they are a little bit of a concern. We'll see what happens. I was encouraged on Saturday. I think he's going to keep playing well.
Are your Patriots going to take Jeremy Bernard or Isaiah Horton in the second round?
Well, I was wondering when you were going to ask me about Drake May because obviously we got a top 5 quarterback on our hands. And
can we digitally high five? We got the best 2 quarterbacks in that class.
Oh, well, we got the best quarterback in the class. I think jury's still out on Caleb Williams. We'll see. Now he was great 2 weeks ago against Dallas, but
he's been great this whole year.
We'll see on I feel better. Granted, I'm a Patriots fan, so take this opinion with a giant grain of salt. But yes, I feel better about Drake May than I do any other quarterback in the draft, and that draft class, and that includes Jaden Daniels too. That's best win for the Patriots in 5+ years. I'm actually going this week because they play in New Orleans. I bought tickets before the Buffalo game, and more out of an obligation. Oh, the Patriots are playing 2 hours away from me. I haven't been to a game in a few years. I guess I should go. Now I'm actually excited to go watch a Patriots game, which should be the bare minimum, but certainly hasn't been the last couple of years. As for your question, I'd love to see Jeremy Bernard in the Patriot. I don't think he's going to be around in the second round though. If he keeps having the season he's had, he's really made a case for one of the best receivers in college football this year. So I think he's very much talked his way into that first round conversation.
He's Michael Brauner. You follow him at M Brauner WNSP. Listen to him from 6 to 9 on the Sound of Mobile app. Michael, thanks so much for your time today. I hope you have a great day.
Absolutely appreciate you guys. We could have gone longer here. I always like hopping on with you.
Oh no, we can go. We can keep going. You just told me 9:30.
I think I still got a few minutes. We're supposed to have a meeting, but no one's came to get.
Okay, I was just trying to respect your time.
I appreciate it. I'll tell you if I got to be. I'll tell you if I got to be off.
What's the Kane Womack conversation? Because obviously came from South Alabama, and so right there, kind of in your neighborhood, lots of people familiar with his time at South. I think that this past week, like I've always kind of look, I'm team coaches usually. I think that he's got operating with a card less, needs a little bit better players in some positions, but I think he's squeezing a lot of juice out of this defense.
Yeah. Well, first of all, can we clear this up once and for all? Because I had always heard when he was here, it's Womack, not Womack, and then it seems to everyone, people. We had him on the radio all the time. He would tell me it's Womack.
Womack.
People still say Womack, and even I've heard him say Womack. So I don't know. I get in an argument with my fiance all the time. She said he never said it was Womack. I talked to him on the radio on the phone. Hey, coach, how do you pronounce your name? Oh, it's Womack. I'm pretty sure it's Womack. So let's anyway.
We'll start driving that train. Womack.
Yeah, please. In Tuscaloosa, I need that narrative push. I'm pretty sure it's Womack. Maybe someone should ask him next time he's at the podium. No, but back-to-back years, he's caught a lot of heat early, and rightfully so. I mean, the performance against Florida State was awful, just as the performance against Vanderbilt, and last year, and the performance, carrying over from the second half of the Georgia game last year in Tuscaloosa was awful. I guess. This is my pretty rudimentary explanation of it because I'm not a film guy, I'm not a scout, but I guess it's something about his system, this swarm defense that he runs that takes some time to grasp. Because the second half of last year, I mean, they were pretty lights out on defense. You think about the Missouri game, you think about the LSU game. Even the Oklahoma game, yeah, I understand what the result was, what it was. Jalen Milroe spotted them 14 points in that game. So, even the games where they played horrible down the stretch, I still didn't think the defense was anywhere close to the problem. So I hope that if they have turned the corner, it would be earlier than it was last year. And, frankly, a little bit more timely than it was last year because they already had 2 losses by the time they went into Oklahoma last year. And again, I think maybe you can still afford 2 losses against just this absolutely brutal schedule, depending on who you can't lose to Eastern Illinois. But I'm hoping that they've turned the corner early. I'm still a little bit, I think Vanderbilt did some nice things, but Vanderbilt's been so good offensively this year. They were never going to, not do anything. Even in the second half, they gashed them a little bit, but you keep them off the board. I hope they've turned that corner earlier than they did last year because they really need them to, especially going into the next 2 weeks, not just this week against Hardy, but with Josh Heupel coming to town next year. They haven't won in Tuscaloosa since 2003. So they're certainly going to be looking to change that. And Aguilar's been as good as anyone in the country, kind of quietly himself over there. So we'll see what it looks like this week, and if it's pretty good and you get out of there with a 7-point win, I feel a lot better going into the Tennessee game because if the defense is a liability like it was at the start of the season, and it's still going into the Tennessee game, and Josh Heupel comes to that, you probably go into that one thinking you're going to get shredded for 40 and are going to have to win a shootout. But I don't know. I'm not fully fully there yet with the defense and believe, oh yeah, like this is the shutdown unit that we were promised. It's in the off season, which I'm done listening to off season stuff on Alabama. Physical football team ever that went into Tallahassee and got pushed around. That's all in the past. I'm not fully, I haven't fully forgotten about that yet, but I'm getting close. If you get 2 more wins in the next 2 weeks and 2 good defensive performances, I feel pretty comfortable about where the defense is at for the stretch.
I want to flip to the other side of the ball and ask you about Ryan Grubb and ask you what is the next way that we're going to see Caden Proctor get involved with this offense? Are we going to see another pass? We're going to see another handoff, maybe a pitch play?
Yeah, maybe I'd like to see like a hitch route over the middle and just what is someone gonna target
You can't
him?
throw a hospital pass to somebody that's 360 pounds.
Exactly. Yeah, I want maybe a goal line fade. How about that? I don't know what his vertical is, but he's 6'8", so he has a 8-inch head start on whoever's gonna be guarding him. All jokes aside, because the Proctor stuff is just as awesome as it is, it's utterly hilarious to watch. I've never laughed so much watching a game of football than I did, at the screen pass against Georgia, and then they had the stones to do it again on really what was a huge play, because I think that drive ended up, you make the field goal to make it a 9-point game. And you don't feel great about Connor Talty from outside of 40 yards right now, so you needed to get that yardage and that first down to set him up. I don't know. Talty's an upgrade from Nicholson, by the way. I know we haven't talked about it's the Talty. I trust Talty at least 50% more going out for a big kick than I did Nicholson last year. Maybe I'm off on that. I know he's
50% now.
Yeah. I mean, I think the offense, in all seriousness, kind of has to operate with the mindset of, look, we can't send our kicker out there for more than 45 yards right now. And if it's a 4th and 25, great, maybe that's different. But, I mean, if it's a 4th and 10 or less and the kick is 48 yards or more, I think you just have to go for it. And I feel really good about what Ty Simpson has done to convert that on 4th down. I love how aggressive they've been on 4th down. It's the one thing I wish Saban would do more, is be more aggressive on 4th down. It's one thing I wish Mike Vrabel would do more. Maybe we'll save that for an off-air conversation based on the gripes we each have with Mike Vrabel. But all that being said, no, we haven't even talked about Grubb. I've kind of forgotten what it's like to have an elite offensive coordinator at Alabama. And I think last year when Grubb left, there was a big mindset of, it's DeBoer's system. Sheridan will be able to run it fine. DeBoer will be doing most of the play calling anyway. And clearly, that was not. Granted, there's been a big upgrade from a quarterback standpoint as well, which I think is as probably more significant of a factor than the change at offensive coordinator. But the creativity. I mean, you talk about the 3rd and 5 against Georgia at the end of the game, the Jam Miller play. I mean, that's just pure football. I mean, words I shouldn't say on the air. It was incredible. The creativity of the offense is incredible. The Caden Proctor stuff, while hilarious, it is. I mean, it's just revolutionary. We have this man-sized giant that nobody is going to be able to tackle. Why don't we put the ball in his hands? I do genuinely hope to see some sort of. I don't know if they'd pull out a goal line fade on Proctor. We got to get him in the end zone, though. We got to get him in the end zone. We got to find a way, whether it's 3rd and goal from the 1, it's the fridge style, run up the gut, that'd be fine. But I need to see a Proctor spike. But all that being said, I feel so great about the direction the offense. I hope Grubb doesn't have head coaching aspirations anytime soon, because he is that good, and it has made that much of a difference, and it has been really phenomenal to watch.
All right, here's how we get him in the end zone, Michael. We're putting him in the Wildcat. It's the Wild Elephant. He's taking the snap. You're playing Brailsford, Dewberry, Jackson side. You're going to give him with Vandermark, and you're going to go Vandermark Carroll, and then your 2 H-backs are William Sanders and Wilkin Formby, right? And so it's just 5, 6, 7, 8. You need 2 more. So give me Jaden Roberts playing tight end. That's the 10. And then just for posterity's sake, we'll have Jeremy Bernard on the outside, just way out wide to just so you got 10
options for him to throw, yeah.
Right. So we show that. He takes the snap and plunges in. But then as the year progresses, we show that 3, 4, 5 times. And then it's the Caden Proctor jump pass to Jeremy Bernard.
I actually think that is that. I want to see the wild elephant. I mean, I don't know if it would be better to hand it off to him or, all jokes aside, literally have him in shotgun and get ahead of steam. Like who's going to stop him from a yard out, getting those legs churning a little bit? I don't think it's possible to stop him. So I actually would absolutely love to see them mix it in. Maybe they do. Yes, the Proctor jump pass would. Oh my God, that would be so. I mean, all jokes aside, you maybe less so on the handoff than the pass. Like, can you imagine the criticism that DeBoer and Grubb get? Like, say Caden Proctor found a way to fumble and they don't get in the end zone. Like the risk of the nut, just for lack of a better term, the nuts on the table to say put it in this guy's hand, put the ball in this guy's hand. And God, I wish he got into the end zone on that play, but it was it seemed like he was first and foremost holding on to the ball. I mean, can you imagine if he had fumbled and they ended up losing that game? I mean, that might have been it.
Drops the pass. It hits him in the chest.
Yeah, drops the pass. I mean, yes, not even a turnover. He just drops the pass. And if you get
backwards lateral ball is live. Georgia scoops and scores.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's any number of things that could go wrong, which tells you how much they practiced it and how comfortable they felt running it, on how prepared they were. But, had things gone wrong, that would have opened. I mean, every sports radio show in the country would have been all over DeBoer. And if you lose that game, even more so. Obviously, I think things have calmed down quite a bit from the fans on the ledge after the Florida State game, and I feel pretty good about the direction the program is going. We'll see. I mean, yeah, this week's a big measuring stick, I think.
Absolutely.
And, I don't care how good Missouri is, how good Ahmad Hardy is. You're better than Missouri, and there's not much excuse to not go show this week.
I agree. Michael, tell everybody where they can find you and how they can listen to you on WNSP and on the Sound of Mobile app.
Yeah, like you said, at M Brauner WNSP on Twitter. Follow me there. I'll drop some takes during the game. As for the radio, 105.5 WNSP if you're in Mobile. If not, you can download the Sound of Mobile app. I'm on from 6 to 9 every weekday.
Are you still doing some writing work, baseball stuff, or different writing projects?
Yeah. We do Alabama and Auburn coverage for over at Yellowhammer News, as well as if you're a baseball fan, check out any of the On SI team affiliate sites. I do a lot of Tigers and Cubs and Blue Jays. So if you're a baseball fan, go be sure to be on the lookout for that. I appreciate that, Joe.
He's Michael Brauner, covering all things, all sports down there in Mobile. I appreciate you, Michael. Have a great day, man.
Thanks, guys. I always enjoy it. Let's do it again soon.
Absolutely. Great to catch up with Michael Brauner right there. Just a quick stat for you from our friend Cole Kublik as we get out of here. 4 teams in SEC history have defeated 3 ranked opponents in 3 consecutive weeks without an open date. Alabama will play its 3rd straight ranked opponent in 3 weeks on Saturday. Tennessee will be 4 straight. Then South Carolina won't be ranked, I guess.
Sure.
Oh, brutal month.
Another fun stat.
You go it.
Highest graded true freshman offensive lineman from week 6. None other than Michael Carroll. 82.5 from PFF.
So you've got left or right. You're going to go Jackson Lloyd. You're going to go Cam Dewberry. You're going to go Parker Brailsford. You'll go Geno Vandermark, and then Michael Carroll. And then your 2 H-backs, you'll have William Sanders and Wilkin Formby. Then we'll put that's 6-7. Mm-hmm. We'll put Jaden Roberts for as tight end. That's 8. Obviously, Caden Proctor playing the quarterback slash wild elephant is 9. Jeremy Bernard way out wide for 10, and you like Josh Cuevas to play another tight end role? Or?
Yeah, I like Cuevas. Just to really add another layer of.
Is there another
Proctor could throw it here?
Right? Is there another big body? No. So yeah, Cuevas right there.
Yeah, I like Cuevas. I mean, Cuevas has shown us multiple times this season that he's a hell of a blocker.
Right,
that man's not afraid to get in there and lay a hat on a hat.
You're not stopping that.
I would like to see.
You need 1 yard. You're not stopping that.
I would like to see a jump pass to Caden Proctor in the end zone. Figure out a way to get him eligible with the lineup. and have him just sneak off the line, just a quick little 1, 2, 3 turn into the end zone, a little slant route, and you're handing it off to Jam, Kevin Riley, whoever it is, and just 1, 2, touchdown, Caden Proctor. Man.
Right, he gives you the down block
Yeah.
look. Whoever's supposed to be guarding him as a tight
And he
end
just sneaks
disregards
off
him.
into the end zone.
Mhm.
Yeah. What are we calling this package of this offensive lineman? The beef package? What is this? What is this formation we're calling it?
I need to go back and watch Dumbo the elephant. We need to go watch it. Go figure it out. Like what they're calling the Pride. Isn't that what they call a group of elephants? A Pride.
Yeah, I think that's right.
The Pride package. But that would not go over well with the older group. The older Alabama fans, they would not take it the right way. It's Pride of elephants. It's not anything else. Come on, guys.
I mean, look, if we're being, I don't think they do it. But there's no reason they shouldn't. If you're sitting on the goal line at 3rd and 1, you send the Pride package out there for 2 straight plays, you get you a touchdown, buddy.
A group of elephants is most commonly called a herd, or less frequently a parade.
Parade.
The parade package. Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So we'll see if Ryan. I mean, he's in there. Just
How many plays do you think that he has? You know, there's a section in that binder full of plays that he's got labeled Caden Proctor.
The section in the binder is called ha 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 ha. Wonder if this will work.
This is lol.
LOL. We'll see.
Oh
if this,
man,
we're gonna LOL.
you shrugging emoji,
right?
You know, it's just
LOL. You have to prepare for this
deep in the back,
because you're gonna have to. That's the crazy thing. Defenses.
We have not seen the last play with Caden Proctor.
No, and defenses are going to have to, from now on,
Mm-hmm.
Alabama lines up, where's 74?
Yep.
Oh, he's playing left tackle. Fine. Oh,
yeah.
And then they're going to go, oh, he's playing. Is he tackle eligible at left tackle? Oh, he is. Now what do we do? Like, it's going to be 10 minutes of practice for Alabama's opponents for the next.
It's just one more extra wrinkle you throw in there. What we really got to do is figure out how to get another offensive lineman involved. Can we get Jackson Lloyd out there running some routes? I feel like he could do it.
I feel like he can too. I think he's pretty athletic. Wasn't he dunking the basketball over in California?
Yes, he was. That's what we got to do. We got to have a whole fleet of dual threat offensive linemen.
You're just like, what number?
Who's who? Yeah, that's what maybe. And then just really for good measure, let's get a receiver wearing like number 67.
Right. Jeremy, we're switching your jersey today.
Really, just confuse everybody.
Oh, man. Well, we've had a lot of fun. I've got to get out of here. I've got a big day. You've got a big day, Mason, covering recruiting. You follow Mason at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine.
Yeah, we're watching Kamari Bing today.
Oh, big decommitment.
Maybe going to be happening for Alabama.
Big decommitment from Kamari Bing. So we'll see if he chooses the Crimson Tide.
Picked up an offer about a month ago.
Joining Jaira Edwards.
Yeah, teammates with Jaira Edwards. Both of them have helped St. Francis to, I think, 5-1 this year.
Absolutely. So we are going to get out of here. We're going to the Malmore Athletic Facility to talk to the football players, and we're going to talk to you guys tomorrow right here on the Joe Gaither Show, where we are endeavoring to get Joey Van Zimmerman, Missouri Tigers, on SI to give us an in-depth look at the Missouri Tigers. I'm going to spend, after we're in the facility, the rest of the day watching Missouri Kansas, watching Missouri South Carolina.
Just a little sneak peek. Very similar offensive line to what Alabama has faced a couple times this season.
Yeah.
A lot of grads.
Oh, yeah. Old men. But old men. So Eli Drinkwitz probably preparing special things for Kane Womack, and we're going to talk about that the rest of the week right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com.